Alright, so hello, hi everyone. In this video I'm gonna show you guys what I just found out and that is how to install files with the extension of sh or shell scripts. In this case I want to execute this file, which is a program. It's a setup for a program. So what I'm gonna do is, or what you have to do is go to the location where you have the file. Mine is in my desktop, so I go there and then I'll show the files. So here's the file that I want to execute. For it, you need to see the permissions of that file. So we do a long list -L to be able to see this right here. These are the permissions that are set for this file. Let me now come to this file over here. And what those permissions stand for is read, write, and execute. This is what the R stands for read, the W stands for write, and the X stands for execute. Now there is three groups here, right? Three parts of these permissions. The first one is going to be for the user. This one right here is for the user. So the user is able to read, write, and execute the file. Now the second group, or the second number, is for a certain group of people, or whatever you want to call them, but it's for a group. And in this case, the group is able to read, write, and execute. And the third number, it's for all other people that are not in a group, but it's just the rest of the world. And they also have, in this case, they have the permission to read, write, and execute the file. But sometimes, if your file doesn't have these permissions on, you need to turn them on. And to be able to do that, we use the chmod command. So you type in the command line chmod, which this program allows you to turn on the executable bits for this file. So you type the chmod command, and the next thing that you're gonna type is a 3-digit octal number, and then after that, space and the file name, which is the file that you want to execute, right? Or that you want to turn the bits on. So in this case, if I want to turn, this is how you turn and come up with a number pattern. So the first number stands for, okay, so we need an octal number, right? Octal numbers are base 8, meaning that they go from 0 to 7, and this is why we have 4 to 1, because when you add them you get 7. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, right? You get it? Yeah. I'm really bad at explaining things. Okay, so now the number 4 represents read, number 2 represents write, number 1 represents X, and same for this one, same for all of them, right? Now if you want to have this bit on, you're gonna pick the number 4. So if you want the user, because this is the first number, This is the first group. The first group belongs to the user. So if you want the user to be able to read, you pick the number, you turn this bit on, so 4 is gonna appear. And then if you want the user to be able to write, you pick the 2, so it's gonna be, you turn on the 2, right? And then if you want the user to be able to execute, you turn on this bit, so you have a 1. And when you add them together, you get a 7. So we're gonna have a 7, and that's gonna be the first digit, the first octal digit. Now that this one represents the user, right? So we're gonna have a 7, and then that's gonna be for the user. Now the second group, this group, if you want the group to be able to read, then you pick the 4. If you want the group to be able to write, you pick the 2. If you want the group to be able to execute, you pick the X, which is a 1. And when you add them together, you're gonna get a 7. Okay, where was I? So if you want the group to be able to read, write, and execute, you turn this 4 on, you turn the 2 on, you turn the 1 on, so you add them and you get a 7. But if you just want the group to be able to choose to read but not to write, you don't turn the 2 on. And you want them to have access to execute, you turn on the 1. So when you add those, you get a 5, and that will be the second digit, the second octal digit. And same for all the other people or the world. If you want them to be able to execute, if you want them to be able to read, you turn the 4 on. If you want them to be able to write, you turn the 2 on. If you want them to be able to execute, you turn the 1 on. But if you just want them to be able to read, you just turn the 4 on. So you put a 4. Now to be able to, now that's what I need, right? Or you can turn all of them on if you want. Now the command after getting the digit of our permissions will be chmod space and then the 3 digits together. So 7, 5, and 4 together, no spaces in between, all together. Then space, and then the file name, filename.sh, and then you hit enter, and you watch. I'll show you guys right now over here. So pay attention to this. Right now I have all the permissions on. All of them are on. Now chmod, and then I'm gonna type in this number, the one that I just came up with. So 754, and then the file name, and then you hit enter. Now I'm gonna do a long listing again, and now you can see the different pattern that came up, which is read, write, and execute. And then we have read, and then we have a dash, and we have execute, and then we have choose read, which is what we did over here with this number. So that's how you turn on the permissions. Now to execute that, if you want all of them on, you do 777. So we do chmod. I'm gonna turn all of them on. Chmod 777, and then the file name. Hit enter. Long listing to see the permissions, and now they're all of the permissions are on for all of the groups, the user, the group, and all of the other people. Now to be able to execute that, since I'm the user, you type in dot and then / and then the file name, and then you hit enter, and then it's gonna open up. Just wait and it opens up, and then you just follow these steps here for whatever program you're installing. Chmod 754, and then the file name, ls line listing. Oh. I'm the user, so it should open because I'm the user. See, but if you have, I'm gonna close this, cancel, exit. If you turn them all off, chmod, it's gonna be read, so 444. Now let me see if it worked. So now we just have read, so we won't be able to execute it. Even if you type the whole name, you won't be able to execute. It's not gonna work. So yeah, that's how you do it.